Imagine being 37, about to have a surgery, and you start digging into your family history just to find out that your father's not actually your father. That happened to me last year, and I made a post about it last week. And this is the beginning of how I came to that realization. So last year, I was going to have a surgery in April. I did have that surgery, but as I was preparing for it, I started digging into my family history. I knew all about my mom's medical history and our family's medical history on her side, but I needed more information from my father's side. I've never had a relationship with him, so I know absolutely nothing about his side of the family. I was digging so much that I started having dreams about where this could take me. And in one of those dreams, I had reached out to my father and asked, and we started having a relationship, a bond, a father-daughter relationship, and it was great. I got to know my father. Well, so I reached out to my sister in reality and asked her to get his information, if he would share this information with me. He respectfully did, and he accepted my call. And he explained to me during this call that he had a DNA test taken in, the 90s, the late 90s, when I was about 8 or 9, and it confirmed back then that I was not his child. He and my mom had been going through a divorce, a separation and a divorce, since I was about 2 or 3. So this was, I'm pretty sure that he had known well before then, but this was just a set in stone thing for him, saying no, she's not my kid type of thing. And he explained to me that, and he gave me his side of the story and how everything played out and how he thought I knew. He was under the impression that I knew that I was not his child. I did not. I was led to believe my entire life that he was my father. And that opened up a whole different world for me. There were just so many different emotions at play with that. I started viewing everything so different. I started viewing him differently, and I started viewing my mom differently. As you can imagine, that really screws with somebody. So then I started digging, really digging. I needed to know more. I needed to know where I came from. I needed to know my history. That's what started it. I needed to know. I needed to know if they had any idea about me, if my mom knew who this other person was, if I had a chance of actually meeting my dad, my real dad, if I had a chance to meet any siblings, if I had any siblings or anything like that. So I started digging, and I spent way too much money on getting MyHeritage kits and DNA kits from Ancestry, which we're not talking about that. But so that is what started me on that. MyHeritage was the one that I got first, and I got a couple hits, but they were distant cousins, I believe, so not really good hits. And my Ancestry is the one that hit for me really well. That one I think is more commonly used, so it works out a lot better. And that is where I found my aunt and my niece. Stay tuned for part 2.